everybody, it's Matt the Dice Chucker.
And Jenn, the board game librarian.
And we're the Literary Gamers coming to you today with H.H. Holmes' Murder Castle, Crimes in History.
This is published by Blueprint Gaming, came out in 2020. And the base box allows for 2 to 6 players, 15 to 20 minutes per player. And the expansion, which is in our particular copy, allows 1 to 7 players.
And it's called the Second Story expansion.
Designed by Seth Cooper and Brant Hoffman. This is...
So I have no context here. You're the one who read the book, so go ahead. Well, hold on. Before we do any of that, let's head down to the table and see how the base game plays. All right, so here we have the starting setup for H.H. Holmes' Murder Castle, the Crimes in History. You'll notice that we have the pharmacy and 3 basement tiles. And this, you're going to start there. I've chosen for this sake of example, this is Abraham Fitzsimmons, and then, right there, Lola Radcliffe. Now each player starts here. You'll notice that H.H. Holmes himself is in the first basement area. So this game operates on action selection. The only other game I've seen do this, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of other games, I just haven't experienced those games yet, but it reminds me a little bit of Puerto Rico. So one of the things you'll do is you can explore the castle. So when you explore the castle, you're going to go into this stack of tiles. And the tiles are pretty self-explanatory. Let's just take a look at one of them. The kitchen. So you'll notice that it has a number on it. That's for ease of moving Holmes when he moves. And then you'll notice this little number here is the vault. So you're going to look for the open door that's next to where you are, and you'll put a room there. And it can be any direction you'd like. Then, once you've placed it, you're going to take 3 cubes from the Ferris wheel, and you only take from the area that's close to the bottom. So let's say I just took these ones and I put them into the kitchen like that. Now let's say that you only had the 2 there. What you're going to do is you're going to take 2 cubes, put them in, and you're going to push the Ferris wheel forward for the next set of cubes, and you'll choose which one you'd like to put in. So, and then what happens then is you have this bag of evidence and you'll put the cubes in. Now why is that important? You'll notice that on your player board, it's the person who has all of these spots filled in. Not these spots, but all the color spots, blue, yellow, green, white, and orange. This is only for the 2-player or solo or extended versions of the game. Once you've collected every single piece of evidence you need, then you head back to the pharmacy and boom, you've won the game. So that's why you want to be collecting those pieces. So how do you do that? So when you explore the castle, I should say, everyone's going to be able to do this action. However, if you're the person who selected it, you get to explore an additional room. So once you do this, it's going to go around and everyone may have the chance to explore the castle. All right, that is the action you've taken. Then you're going to have the actions of move into one room, obviously just move into a room. And then if you're the person who selected it, you may advance the Ferris wheel 1 position clockwise. All right, so if there's cubes you realize your opponents need, you can just push this forward and make sure that they don't get it. You may move up to 2 rooms and move an additional room. You may collect evidence. All right, you get 1 evidence, and then you can collect an additional pieces of evidence. That's where you're picking up the cubes out of the safes. And there are some cubes here in the basement, but not a lot. You may draw an event card with the selection bonus of drawing an additional event card. There are a deck of event cards here, and let's take a look at what some of them are. So they'll either say keep or discard. You found a lever to disarm a trapdoor. Place this card to remove the trapdoor and the matching landing zone from their respective rooms. And the trapdoors are in kind of a bunch of counters over there. Let's see what a discard one. Play now. That's what it says. Holmes is alerted. A room is tripped. Holmes moves to any room with 1 player. We're going to talk in the review part of this that this can get a little take-thatty. So, and then there's this. Sometimes the event card you pull doesn't help anybody. Holmes activates the gas fixtures. Every player must discard 1 of their event cards. So it goes back and forth. It can help you. It can hinder you. But if you're the one who selected it, like it says here, you get to draw the additional event card. then you may move Holmes. Now, you'll move Holmes kind of, and the rulebook says how to move him, and you'll evade Holmes from this turn's movement. Because if you're in the room with H.H. Holmes, you're going to take a black cube and put it in Holmes strikes. And you're going to take a cube away from your evidence selection because he's basically attacked you. All right? I'll put these back here before I lose track of everything. And was that it for the selection? Yes, those are all the actions you can select. It kind of has a follow mechanic, but it comes with these nice little cardboard pieces. And it's kind of easy to figure out what they do. Okay. After you're done with that, everyone's going to continue until each player has selected an action tile. Once you select the action tile, by the way, it goes in front of the person who selected it. So you cannot also, if someone collects move into one room, another player may not also select this. Once each player has chosen which action they're going to take, you then go into, you return them into a line where everyone can see, and then you're going to move Holmes. Now, Holmes has a special deck of cards, and this kind of works a little bit like, okay, Holmes is on the move. He moves to basement 2 or number 12, room of the 3 corpses. And there's where the numbers kind of help. So he would move here, and if somebody was in here with him, he'd give them a black evidence cube and kind of move on their way. Let's see, let's just turn it over. It's easier that way. It's on the move. There are some different ones. Beggars can't be choosers. So whoever is the active player, it chooses from these rooms. And of course, if none of the rooms are available, Holmes does not move. And then Holmes goes on a rampage, draw 3 additional Holmes movement cards. And no event cards can basically prevent that. Then there is, where is the last card that's a little bit, lights out. The castle goes dark, reshuffle all the cards in the Holmes movement deck. So that's kind of like the pandemic style idea of shuffling the deck. Though you don't put it on the top of the deck, it just is the pandemic style. And those are all the cards that are in the game for Holmes moves. Now, once Holmes moves, you're going to give this key, which is the skeleton key, to the next player, and then they are going to start all over again with selecting their action tiles. Some of the rooms have special abilities to them. For example, here's the Whitechapel Suite, which is choose a safe spot to hide from Holmes to avoid a Holmes strike. You've got the blind room here. Requires 2 collect evidence actions to collect 1 piece of evidence. It's pretty straightforward on what they do. The black closet. 1 event for each round you end in this room. There is one I want to show you. We have the asphyxiation chamber, which no keep event cards can be played while in the room. Here's the one I wanted to show you. The maze. So, when you play this down, let's say we placed it right here. The only place you can go in if you were in this area is right here. You cannot go into the blue area and collect evidence there because it can only be accessed by another door. So that's pretty much the base game. Each player has a special ability that you can discover that they can use. And that is at the top of each person's player mat. That is basically the base game and how that works. There is a variant that I'll go over in another video where you can actually have somebody as H.H. Holmes, and this is the board that they would use. And then, of course, there's the expansion, which, once again, I will go over with at another time. But that's pretty much how you play Murder Castle, H.H. Holmes, and if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Oh, I'm sorry. When you begin the game, you're going to get 2 of these cards. You're going to flip them. These are your starting evidence that you have against Holmes. And you'll put that out on there just in case Holmes strikes you right away and you have something to discard. And you'll choose one, you get rid of the rest. That's pretty much it. Like I said, any questions, let me know down below, and I'll get back to you when I can. Now we're back!
That was so quick.
Yeah, Jen's going to talk about this because she has read Devil in the White City.
So I had contacted Blueprint Concepts for a review copy of this game because I had been reading The Devil in the White City, which came out in 2003 by Eric Larson. a very, very popular nonfiction novel, if you'll say, if you've heard me use that term before, with dual storylines. One storyline about the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, and then the other storyline about H.H. Holmes. Now, as I said in my book review of Devil in the White City, which should be going up, I think, after this, I had been living under a rock forever, and I had no idea who H.H. Holmes was. So I read this book, and I'm horrified, as one should be, about this, I hate to say gentleman, this guy, who's maybe one of our first documented and captured serial killers here in America. And he did all of his, well, a large majority of his murdering in the murder castle. Hey! So, yep. So theme-wise, right away, you're going to know if you're going to want to play this game or not. If you're not into serial killers or true crime or murder, although no one should be into murder, that could be a quotable moment from me right here.
That could be also edited.
That could be. I'm going to leave it. This won't appeal to you. This will not appeal to you at all. I don't think you need to know who H.H. Holmes is or about his murder castle to necessarily want to play this game. You could be a true crime aficionado, someone who likes solving crimes and mysteries.
You're not really solving anything in this one, though.
You're gathering evidence, right?
Cubes.
Yes, thankfully cubes. Yeah, so kudos to you for components, and we'll talk about that. So you are playing a bunch of investigators, I guess I'll broadly say investigators, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And you're looking to bring down Holmes. As Matt said, you know, the investigators go, and then Holmes gets to do his nefarious things, and then you are collecting evidence along the way. So you had not read Devil in the White City, but you knew who H.H. Holmes was, correct?
Yes, correct.
And how did you know that? That I did not know that.
Just kind of videos on YouTube.
Oh!
You know, after the first Making of a Murderer on Netflix came out, a bunch of stuff on YouTube started coming out about other serial killers, and one of which was H.H. Holmes. So I had watched a video, and then after that, I went online, learned more about him. It's terrifying, but yeah, that's how I knew about him.
Yeah. So Holmes's primary target was ladies. Sorry. Young, attractive women, and a lot of them were women who had come in specifically to work for or be at the Chicago's World's Fair. Hence the title of the book. And he had a variety of rooms in the murder castle, his creepy basement that had the kiln, where he had his dissecting table, where he had upstairs basically like a panic room where you couldn't get out and no one could hear you. All of that is in the game. So, love the attention to detail. This is like a... How do you love something like that?
This is a weird review. I think this is a weird review. The game doesn't glorify the actions of H.H. Holmes. I'm going to put that out there right away. Though there is a mode of the game that one person can be Holmes and operate like this machine.
It takes a special kind of person, I feel like, to want to play as H.H. Holmes.
I do appreciate that the artwork isn't realistic.
Yes.
I do think that's a good sign. I will say, people who like the shows Making of a Murderer, if you watched like Murder Among the Mormons or stuff like that, this might intrigue you because it has that true crime element to it. I also think this is a great game for people who have played the snot out of Betrayal at House on the Hill and are looking for a game that has some style of it. I mean, it definitely isn't, but you're kind of building the house as you go along style of the game.
Yeah, so there's that tile exploration aspect of the game, which makes probably every game that you play that's going to be very unique in terms of what rooms come out. And then either, in terms of how the cards come out for Holmes, what evidence you're going to be able to collect, what player you play as. and a wide variety of characters you can play as,
Mm-hmm.
both men and women, and a diverse cast of characters as well. So kudos on that. I love that.
I like that it's a Ferris wheel that drops the cubes, tying it all into the World's Fair.
So your fun fact, if you hadn't known this, that is named after a guy named Ferris, who was the engineer of this bad boy. And the Ferris wheel, not as we know it, but the original Ferris wheel came out at the Chicago's World Fair. So that was its debut. So I like that attention to detail too. The rooms are not morbid or gross.
There's blood stains here and there, but that's about it.
Yeah, I would say if you're someone who's offended by Abomination.
Right,
Like
I wouldn't play this game.
The gore in Abomination is not present in this game, and I would actually...
It's there.
It is, but it's not like
I get you.
the corpses and
Yeah.
the where you actually can go into a space and murder someone. This is not a characterized artwork, but it's like Matt said, not realistic.
Yeah, and I think that was the right move, definitely.
Yeah. You are working competitively to get what you need to be able to capture Holmes, hunt down Holmes. You have to get back to the pharmacy to be able to do that, which is funny because that's the original part of the Myrtle Castle. He was a pharmacist, if you want to call him anything. He really wasn't. He was a charlatan. So the fact you have to go back to the pharmacy. Again, the theme for attention to detail is great. What did you think of gameplay, Matt, at 2 players? Because we played this at 2 players.
It was fine. There were times when, like with 2 players, it really is like a take that game because there's only one other target for you, and sometimes it's like you get to choose where Holmes goes when Holmes activates, and it really can be just you just get pummeled in a 2-player game, and sometimes when you get as pummeled as you do, it's hard to come back from that. So I could see why at more players this game is more of, and I hate to use the word enjoyable because of the theme, but
vibrant.
Even yes, that, I think.
Even that in the context of this game. Sure.
Bring the thumbs down on people. Bring it on.
And again, so component-wise, I do like that there is a disconnect between the things that you are trying to collect and that they're actually cubes. That is good.
Good.
So that's a good thing. And there are the cards that you can get, and that's what Matt is referring to, the cards that are the take baddie. But I suppose you could play them or not play them. You can move Holmes in a way that's less hurtful to your fellow player. Gameplay on this is very easy.
The base yes. Game.
Very, very easy. I think it could appeal, like Matt said, to folks who are Betrayal fans. I don't necessarily want that traitor aspect. I guess if you add in Holmes, that has that element of it.
But at least here you'll know who's playing Holmes.
Right. And again, very special person. So what would you rate Holmes's Murder Castle, Matt?
And I'm going to withhold my rating for now. I'd love to play this with more people, if whoever's comfortable playing this. Because, I can see somebody saying, hey, you want to play Murder Castle about H.H. Holmes? And some people might be like, maybe not. So, until I've actually played a 4-player game, I'm going to withhold my rating for now. And I will, once we get that opportunity, I'm going to go over the expansion material in this game, and then I can give you how I really feel about it. But for right now, I don't know. We've played the game at 2 a few times. I've played it a few other times with some guys at the store. And I'm still going to withhold that rating until I play it with more people. Because I don't want to unfairly judge the game. Especially when people at the company say it's best at 4+, right? So I'm not going to rate it quite yet.
Right. This is, again, one that I said, it's, like we said with Mistborn, this is another tough sell of sorts because of the theme. Not necessarily like in Mistborn, I would say with mechanics is like the hard sell on that one. This one I think is the theme.
That happens with some games that you can make a great game, but you bring it out and people are like, I don't know if I want to play that one.
Yeah, agreed.
We have a few in our collection like that.
We do, and ones that Matt and I feel played well enough at 2 that are worth keeping.
Yes.
And Abomination is probably one of them.
Yep. Games, Abomination.
Yeah. So I guess I'll hold my rating on it as well. I liked it at 2 players. I think it, like Matt said, it's probably better with more players. Again, it's easy. I wouldn't expect this to be a very complex game. So if that's what you're kind of going in to thinking, it's not complex. It's probably more on the gateway end. It's more easy. It's easier. So I guess that is good. It appeals to a broader range of people, which is what we love hearing. So that's all I have to say. How about you, Matt?
I'm good.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
Crimes in History, H.H. Holmes, Murder Castle. Have you played it? What did you think? Do all the things. I forgot to mention that in the other videos. You gotta do the things. You gotta subscribe. You gotta go into the settings and do the things. You know the things. Other channels tell you to do the things. Why do I have to tell you to do the things? Okay, we'll see you next time, everybody. Bye.